thinking the art community and the school district really know how to pull a crowd together. Yeah. Not just a crowd, but some important people, as I look out and about. You know, it's exciting times, and most people don't probably realize that a community of our size, and in the state of Missouri, we're a pretty large community. With the 2010 census, we were tied with St. Peter's as the 10th largest city in the state of Missouri, which is a far cry from what it was when I moved to Blue Springs 42 years ago. But anyway, we're just happy about the progress we made in the city, and one of the things we're really proud about is the art in the city. Most communities our size don't have the art that we have because we are a cultured community, appreciative of those cultural things in life. And so that's what we're here today, is to dedicate some art. And I want to thank the Art Commission and the art group in Kansas City, Parks and Recreation, just everybody that's involved. Because we always, and I say this as well, and most of you probably or might not know my background other than me being a public servant, which I've been for over 30 years. But I grew up in a culture of a little greeting card company in Kansas City called Hallmark. And people would oftentimes ask me, do you write the sentiment that's in the cards? Do you do the drawing? No. They kept me far from that. But I did learn to have an appreciation for art. And Raymond McGee and I, and for those people that know one of our art commissioners, we used to carpool to Hallmark. And so, but he has an appreciation. He can actually draw stuff. The only thing I can draw is a paycheck if somebody let me have one. But anyway, we're just happy, and we just want to welcome you here today. And again, for all of you that's involved, and as you drive around town, and most times you just take these things for granted. When you drive around town, just look around. Just look around at the art that we have in this city. And I'm sure that you will find at least one piece that you'll be enamored with, that you'll be impressed with, that you'll be very proud of. Because again, the appreciation of art is in the eye of the beholder. So that being said, again, I'm proud to be the mayor of a city that is on the move and on the right track. So thank you for being here, and we look forward to unveiling this piece of art here at the Blue Springs School District Administrative Building, which is very properly named after a dear friend of a lot of ours, Gail Bartow.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate you and Mrs. Ross being here this morning, and I won't be singing either. So there's some other thank yous and recognition that I need to provide here this morning. First, our music this morning from our Blue Springs High School Orchestra students, Meredith Herrick, Shelby May, Katrina Pham, and Rachel Harris, and their teacher, Paige Munhanke. Thank you all for being here this morning. Several members of our Board of Education are here. President Rhonda Gilstrap, Fiscal Vice President Kay Cohen, and members Dale Walkup and Kent Bradford are here. Thank you for being here as well. Special thanks to Eleanor Frazier for being a great partner on this project, for your work and dedication to it, and for helping push it along. Where is Eleanor? I know she's got it right there. Eleanor, you'll hear from her in a little bit. Thank you. Several student groups here today from Lucy Franklin, several students that you'll hear from here in just a little bit. Some students from Blue Springs South that were involved in the creation of the centerpieces, those beautiful centerpieces modeled after the artwork. Lauren Payne and Caitlin Davis and their teacher Carly Martin, who are right back over there. Thank you. And your parting gift today actually will be provided by the manufacturing students from Blue Springs High School, and we appreciate that as well. all of these students have been part of this project and will benefit from it, as will our community moving forward, and we appreciate that. And now it's my honor and privilege on behalf of our board members, and I see one more. Hold on. Mayor Ross has something to say.
You were just about to embarrass me because I forgot to make a couple of introductions myself.
All
so
right.
Let me do that. Certainly you mentioned it, the First Lady is here of Blue Springs, Eloise Ross. And I have a couple of council members here that we work very closely in keeping the city on the move. We have Susan Culpepper from District 3. We have Jeff Cobell from District 1. Certainly we have staff here from the Parks and Recreation Department, and the person that makes me look good a lot, Kim Nakahoda with the camera.
Thank you, Mayor. As I was saying, it's my honor and privilege on behalf of our board members and our staff members and everyone associated with the school district to officially accept this beautiful piece of art and turn the microphone over to Greta Honer, our outstanding art teacher from James Walker Elementary. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Finley. It is such an honor to be here. I'm so proud to be a Blue Springs District art teacher, and I'm so honored to be on the Public Art Commission in Blue Springs. And I'm happy that somebody is taking over my class right now. I am going to talk a little bit about the artist and then about another person too. Mark Crookie, as he pronounces his name, is originally from Ohio. He's currently a resident in North Carolina. He received his bachelor's degree in studio art from the University of North Carolina in Wilmington. Mark Crookie's sculptures have been included in juried exhibitions throughout eastern United States. He was awarded Best in Show for the Sal Magundi exhibition in Rocky Mount, which is also in North Carolina, and won first place in the Mayfair Outdoor Sculpture Project, which is in North Carolina. And that piece was very similar to the one that rests and is installed out front central office. His sculptures are influenced by nature and its relationship with man. These are his words, which he sent via email the other night. My inspiration for Fortitude III is nature. I was able to use and show a mathematical formula found in nature known as the Fibonacci spiral to create the stem of this piece. This formula is used by many living things that grow and form in our world and is important to all of us. The sculpture piece in Rocky Mount, North Carolina is a larger piece of this oak series, Fortitude. Nature is doing amazing things, and these Fortitude series present a reminder to look at nature for its many secrets and answers, as well as gaining knowledge as it spirals and grows. Thank you to all of you who make up the great community of Blue Springs for this opportunity and your continued interest and dedication to public art. Until next time, Mark Crookie. And we thank him too. And just I would like to touch on one more person, and that is who is Fibonacci. Fibonacci was a 13th century mathematician. He helped achieve the golden ratio, which is found in the spiral. From petals in plants, to patterns in the human eye, to the proportions of the human bones, to hurricane spirals, to star galaxy spirals, this formula can be found. And if that isn't enough, he helped popularize our modern number system. We would all be adding with Roman numerals if not for him. Although ridiculed for his different ways of thinking, his new methods of thinking became a success against the odds, which is why this is so appropriate for a school district to have out front. That is as refreshing as turning over a new leaf. When I found this book by chance called Blockhead about Fibonacci. I was at the Salvador Dali Museum in St. Pete, Florida. I think I jumped so high with excitement that I landed back in Blue Springs. I shared this with my colleagues on Public Art Commission and also with some colleagues in the school district. It is so wonderful that this has now become a reality, given permission by the Blue Springs School District to put a sculpture on their grounds. I can't tell you how excited I am and honored to be here. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Dr. Segal.
Thank you. It is my pleasure in just a few moments to have 3 students share a great experience that really came about through the art piece and their further study of Fibonacci. Henry Tevis is a 2nd grader at Lucy Franklin, and his brother Hudson Tevis is a 4th grader. Their parents are here, Jeff and Aubrey. Thank you. And then we have Grayson Austin. She is also a 4th grader at Lucy Franklin. She will be sharing with you her experiences that she found out through research. And Jason and Renee, again, thank you for coming. Okay, we're going to start off with Hudson, and I think you're in for a real treat. With further ado, Hudson, would you please come up? Henry. And Henry is the 2nd grader. We have to make an adjustment.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
You want me to hold it, or are you okay?
So we'll start off with this part up here. Thank you, Dr. Segal, for the introduction. My name is Henry Tevis, and I am a Lucy Franklin leopard in 2nd grade. This is my brother Hudson Tevis. He is in 4th grade. And this is Grayson Austin. She is also in 4th grade. I know you have learned a lot about Mark, but I did a little research of my own. He and I have a lot in common. Mark Crookie is a cool sculptor who loves using nature and art and nature and math in his art. He wants people to get close and wonder about his work. He hopes people have fun looking at his art. And now this is Hudson.
Now, you all might think you're here for a statue dedication, but I'm here to teach you a math lesson. Long ago, Leonardo Fibonacci was inspired by numbers and realized that all things in nature follow a specific pattern. Some of you might recognize this spiral and know that 1 + 1 = 2, 1 + 2 = 3, and 2 + 3 = 5. When Leonardo was in nature, he connected these patterns and with different plants and animals and realized that they all connect. Next time you're outside, I challenge you to count petals on a flower or look for spirals in pine cones, pineapples, and sunflowers. And the Fibonacci sequence is also found in buildings, music, and art. Fibonacci has inspired many people over the years with his math and spirals, including mathematicians, scientists, and artists just like Mike Crookie. Thank you. And now my good friend Grayson Austin.
Mark Crookie designed Fortitude III. It represents strength, courage, and hope for our future in a world that's always changing. We immersed ourselves in mentor text about Fibonacci. The illustrations in many of the books show spirals in nature and everyday objects. Mark used a mathematical spiral based off of Fibonacci for the shape of the sculpture. It's one of the world's oldest symbols. It represents everlasting change and new beginnings for the future. It's awesome to have this piece outside our central office. Fortitude III is a good representation of the Blue Springs School District. It shows what the students of today can stand for in our community, strength, courage, and hope. Henry Hudson and I feel so lucky to talk about this. This assignment also helped us look at art in a new way. It's just like the district to give kids a chance to play a part in special events like this. Thank you for this opportunity.
I'm almost short enough that I needed that bench, but I'll try on my own. I'm Eleanor Frazier, and I am so...
No.
This one. There you see, I'm not very technical. I'm Eleanor Frazier, and I'm so excited to have this day. I mean, we have been looking forward to the dedication of Fortitude III since we originally selected this piece in 2012. And then the period of time from that was to find our donors, to find our program, and to bring you all together. This is fantastic. I just want to thank everyone for coming because it is really a thrill for me. And I know it's a thrill for the Public Art Commission, and I want to introduce them because they're the driving force. We meet we have a volunteer group that meets every month to think about the art in Blue Springs and how to make our city a better place. So let me introduce the other members of the Public Art Commission, and I'm going to ask them to stand. Carolyn Gordon-Nair, Greta Honer, Barbara Landis, Raymond McGee, Lawrence Randall, and Kathy White. Now, we couldn't do all of this without the help of the city, and so we also appreciate Dennis Stovall, Kim Nakahodo, Steve Willman, and Jeff Quibell, who meet with us and help direct us through the process of the meetings and the funding and the arrangements that we need for the Public Art Commission to work. So thank you for that. Now, most people think that the Public Art Commission selects the art. That's not true. We select the selection panel that selects the art. And we're very pleased that we have some of our selection panel members with us today that reviewed a tremendous number of applications. I think it was over 40 applications that came in, and we looked at images that the artists had presented, their credentials. It's a hard job to bring it down to 4 people who are the artists and one alternate, and to select the art that was in our Evlove group that we had in 2013, 2014. So the selection panel is Tom Beard. I'm going to ask you to stand, Tom. Jan Defendek, who could not be here today, Greta Honer, Phyllis Wilkins, and Steve Willman. These people selected this piece of art. So if you don't like some of the art in Blue Springs, don't blame us. And there are a few of those that maybe you don't want to blame us for. So. Okay, the other thing I want to do is to thank our donors. And we had the greatest number of donors for this piece that any artwork that we've had. And so I think it says something about the artwork, but it says a lot about our donors. We had 46 donors who contributed to this piece. And I'd like to have our donors stand. Will you stand? All the donors? All the donors. Susan, stand. All the donors. Thank you, donors, for all that you do to help make art part of our community. And of course, what could we do without Blue Springs School District? I mean, what you saw today is an example of the partnership that we have with this great community group that we have. It's really amazing what we could do together, and what we have done with the Blue Springs School District over the years, starting with the Wall That Heals, which I will remind everyone came to Blue Springs 5 years ago today. We had a wonderful partnership with the community and with the school district for that event, and then also for the Veterans Way Memorial and for all the other events that we have done. And today is a culmination event of all over time. And of course, within that, I want to thank the students, because that's so important to me. I had a little twinge of remembrance because my daughter was in the Blue Springs Strings group when she was here at Blue Springs. So when I saw them here today performing, it just really brought it back home how wonderful our school district is. And I thank the manufacturing students for this wonderful piece of art, because that's what it is. And if you haven't picked up the tile that they designed and developed, then please do so before you leave. We thank them for that. And for our elementary students, wasn't that wonderful? I just really was pleased that they have taken to heart the feelings of Fibonacci and placed it in the teachers and the students, placing that in the curriculum. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the city for all that they do in helping to make the Public Art Commission a welcoming addition to the work that it helps to carry out the city's mission. And particularly, I want to thank the Parks Department, because they help us really closely in all that we do with the installing of the art and maintaining the art. It's just a really important part of who we are and what we are. And I want to also tell you what's coming. We are now in the process of a call to artists that will bring art to, where we will place 4 pieces of art at the fire stations in Blue Springs. They will be installed in April of next year. So this is really exciting. Our call is called Firefighter Spirit. What a fabulous name for what our firefighters do in our city, our first responders that do. And then I want to close by telling you a little bit about Mark Crucky. He couldn't be here today. He's trying to make a living as an artist. He was an emerging artist when we found him when he applied for us. He was just recently graduated from college. He hadn't really done a lot, but we saw potential in him. And he was very excited to bring his piece of art to us the last week of March in 2013. This was unfortunately the week that we had a big snowstorm. I mean, a big snowstorm. And he and his father were driving from North Carolina. They were in very simple shirt and pants and tennis shoes. They nearly froze to death installing this piece of art because it was originally placed on the corner of 15th and Main. And they really worked hard at making it look good. But in the process, we saw something about this artist. We saw that he had fortitude, that he cared about art, that he was going to be somebody someday. And we have been very fortunate in selecting art from artists who are going to be somebody someday. Two of the artists I particularly know was Beth Nybeck, who did the artwork that you see at the Veterans Way Memorial. She is now an international artist. She started here, her very first piece, right out of college, with the piece which we think of as the lion, but and is placed along Adams Terry Parkway. The piece that we also like a lot is the piece that you may have seen we selected last year was Breath, and the other piece was the Arabian, which is in the Adams Terry Landing. This also is a wonderful emerging artist, and we felt strongly that this work needed to be in Blue Springs. So we were excited to have emerging artists as part of our group, as well as professional artists. We look forward to professional artists' work in November, when 2 pieces come in for Remnants Restored. Remnants Restored will be utilizing sculptural iconic work using the materials from the old bank building and from the old water tower. So look forward to that in November. And then lastly, I just want to leave this with a thought. Someone said that art is the way that you select art and appreciate art is a window to your soul. I think that the way that Blue Springs embraces art reflects the nature and the values of our city. And I hope we will continue to embrace art and make our city a better place to work, live, play, and shop. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor. Now we're going to ask everyone to go downstairs for the ribbon cutting. So thank you for coming today.
On behalf of the Public Art Commission and Blue Springs School District, I proclaim the ribbon cutting of Fortitude III.
Now.
Oh, what count?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.